Welcome. My name is Summer Koka, and I am Director of Strategic Research Initiatives at Columbia Engineering. I'd like to ask those of you who are entering if you could please take your seats. I'm really glad to see a full house today. So welcome to Columbia Engineering and Columbia Knight First Amendment Institute's Symposium on Generative AI and Free Speech. We are thrilled to have you join us as we explore this important and timely conversation on the future of AI, free speech, public discourse, and democracy. So before we begin, I just want to go over a couple of housekeeping rules. You should have all received a program booklet, but in case, there's also a QR code right on the screen, which you can scan and to get today's agenda, which is a packed day. In addition, you will also see this QR code, which is also available in your booklet. Throughout the day, we will be keeping this open. Please enter any questions that you have at any point throughout the day, whether it is for any of our panels or keynotes, and we will be receiving those questions throughout the day. So please feel free and scan that QR code now or get it from your booklet. I'll also go over a few housekeeping rules. So please, again, silence all your devices. And since we're at the forum, no food or open drink containers are allowed in the auditorium. Restrooms, there is one set of restrooms right around the corner into the foyer. There is also another set of restrooms in the basement. All breaks, including the reception at 5:15 p.m. at the conclusion of the symposium, will take place on the first floor in the West Atrium. And with that, I'd like to introduce Columbia Engineering Dean Shih-Fu Chang. Dean?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this wonderful symposium on generative AI, free speech, and public discourse. It's wonderful to see so many of you here today at this wonderful, beautiful venue in Columbia's new campus, Manhattanville. I'm Shih-Fu Chang, as Samar mentioned, Dean of Columbia Engineering. I'm so thrilled that the engineering school has the opportunity to partner with the Knight First Amendment Institute to host this wonderful event today. The Knight Institute is the leading defender of free speech in the digital age. We are proud to join with them to bring our expertise in artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, from engineering, as well as many other schools and disciplines at Columbia for this joint effort. It's truly a unique partnership that is very hard to find in any other university. This event is also part of the dialogue across different initiatives at Columbia, recently launched by interim provost Dennis Mitchell, who is also with us here today. The initiative aims to foster an inclusive community that brings together different perspectives in conversation with empathy, respect, and trust. Today, we are very lucky to be joined by our Columbia University President, Minouche Shafik. President Shafik joined the university last July, and within a very short time has quickly identified several strategic priority areas for the university. The topic covered on AI, free speech, public discourse today is very much relevant to the strategic area identified by President Shafik for the university. Today, she has graciously made time to join us. Welcome all of you. So now turn it over to President Shafik.
Thank you, Shih-Fu, and thank you all for joining us here today at this symposium on generative AI, free speech, and public discourse, which is being co-hosted by our School of Engineering and the Columbia Knight First Amendment Institute. I sort of gate crashed this event because I saw it was happening and thought the topic was incredibly important at this particular time. Generative AI tools can help society, and obviously in many ways, but could also bring a deluge of disinformation, threaten free elections, and undermine and destabilize democracies. And as these tools become widely available, cheaper, and more powerful, the potential for them to distort public discourse is even greater. And so the question of how do we manage that? How do our societies harness the benefits of these technologies while managing the risks? I also hope that we spend some time talking about the potential positive benefits for democracy and free speech. I recently met a faculty member at Columbia who was doing some work on citizens' assemblies, which, as many of you know, are tools for bringing groups of citizens together to debate complex issues and form a consensus, and was using AI to scale up citizens' assemblies as a way to strengthen and foster more democratic decision-making process. So there are upsides too, and we need to think about those. I think, as Shih-Fu mentioned, thinking about the impact of AI on society is one of my top priorities since I joined Columbia. It's hard to imagine any field of inquiry which will not be affected by these technologies. And I think for Columbia as a university, we have a huge comparative advantage in thinking about those impacts. Shih-Fu and our colleague Jeanette Wing often talks about AI plus X, AI plus law, AI plus engineering, AI plus medicine. We have a lot of X's at Columbia. We have 17 schools, and we think that we could do a great deal for thinking about the consequences of AI for each of those fields. And arguably, this is a very important comparative advantage of universities. AI currently is dominated by large technology firms with huge commercial interests and significant political power. There needs to be a voice for the public good in this debate, and I think universities can play a very distinctive voice in thinking about the public good aspects of AI technologies. So this event today is part of that process. It will feature speakers and expert panelists from law, from computer science, from the social sciences, from history, and many other disciplines. And our guest speakers will talk about a range of issues, including human creativity, informational integrity, power, and governance. It's co-sponsored, as was said earlier, by the Knight First Amendment Institute and Columbia Engineering, a unique partnership that brings together the Knight Institute's globally renowned work on defending freedom of speech, and is particularly in the digital age, and thinking about accountability, fostering democracy, and promoting good government. And the Columbia School of Engineering's outstanding capacity and commitment to engineering for humanity, including confronting grand challenges and pioneering the frontiers of knowledge and discovery across a wide range of disciplines. And, of course, our School of Engineering's particular world-class expertise in AI, in machine learning, in natural language processing, and computational thinking. All of this comes at an incredibly important time. I don't need to tell you that our democracies are under considerable stress, and the work that we're doing here at Columbia on dialogue across difference, led by Dennis, and values in action, trying to create and foster more inclusive communities in which difficult subjects can be discussed in a context of civility and real learning, is much needed at this time. And hopefully today's event will be one of many such events in which we at Columbia lay the foundations for a different way of thinking about difference, dialogue, free speech, and how AI could help with all of those things. So welcome, and I'll turn the mic back to Shih-Fu.
Thank you very much, Minouche. And we are very much in support of your leadership and vision for us and for the university. Thank you. And as Minouche mentioned, that engineering school has a vision called Engineering for Humanity. It's a vision that reflects our combined force to use science and engineering as a force for good that benefits society. Today's symposium highlights our collaboration with the Knight Institute with a unique focus on our commitment to the responsible and fair use of AI. As you all know, debates about generative AI tools like ChatGPT, and just a few days ago, OpenAI released a new video tool called Sora, and the high-quality photorealistic video generator is just astounding, right? And this news has been dominating the news cycle that really technology we have seen in the recent year affects so many sectors of a society with such speed. The engineering faculty and student researchers have been at the forefront in developing the foundation and the new technology of AI. In the last few years, we have launched new centers on AI foundation focused on fairness and causal inferencing, explanation, and also in new emerging areas with our partner and sister school on the campus on AI and climate modeling, AI and smart city, AI and decision-making with neuroscience, AI and responsible financial services in partnership with business school, as well as AI and sports and physical technology. And recently also within Zuckerman Institute, a joint study combining artificial and natural intelligence we call ARNI. At Columbia, we, as Minouche mentioned, we've been working across the schools to establish a very exciting vision and initiative called AI Plus X. Our goal is to create new programs and activity, leverage the broad and deep expertise across 17 schools and many institutes and centers that within and outside Columbia to develop AI innovation with positive societal impact. But as we have witnessed and Minouche mentioned, the ability of a new AI tool to synthesize and share and distribute and amplify vast amount of data in such a short time so quickly is just astounding. Raise serious questions about disinformation, verification, bias, free speech, and possible abuse. As a society, we're faced with how this tool will affect our freedom, democracy, and public discourse. Today, we, as Minouche mentioned, assembled a set of expert speakers to address all these issues from different perspectives. We also have the expert to investigate how such tool can impact certain demographics, such as marginalized or vulnerable groups. In my own research, I've long been involved in verifying integrity of multimedia content, so this is a topic of great interest to myself too. So the stakes are extremely high, the cross-disciplinary solutions are needed, and building a future where AI serves our society will require very unique and effective collaboration. I just cannot think about any better partner for this initiative than the Knight Institute, a leading organization dedicated to democratic value of free speech. This partnership is born out of a shared commitment to understanding how technologies interact with core civil and political rights and ensure democratic values are incorporated into development of new technology. We are launching support for new research project you will hear about today, and with the seed funding from Knight Institute and Columbia Engineering. I'm very excited about this collaboration. The future is partnership. There will be new research, new education curriculum, new fellowship, new scholarship, and continued dialogue. So I hope today's event inspires more discussion and collaboration as we work to stimulate more dialogue across difference, as Minouche and Dennis are leading us in the university, and also further strengthen our foundation that support democracy. So let me turn it over to Jameel Jaffer, my partner, collaborator, and the executive director of the Knight First Amendment Institute. Jameel.
Morning, everybody. Thank you, Shih-Fu. Thank you, President Shafik. And thanks to all of you for coming out this morning, whether you're here in person or watching online. I'm Jameel Jaffer. I'm the director of the Knight First Amendment Institute here at Columbia. The Knight Institute defends the freedoms of speech and the press in the digital age through litigation, research, policy, and public education. The Institute was established 7 years ago. Today, it is a vibrant community of litigators, scholars, technologists, journalists, and many others, including interns and externs from Columbia and beyond. We focus on the ways in which new technologies are reshaping democracy, and so our work is interdisciplinary by necessity. I'm a lawyer, and many of my colleagues at the Institute are lawyers as well, but we know very well that the kinds of questions we address can't be answered by legal scholars or lawyers alone. Answering these questions will require many different kinds of knowledge and many different kinds of expertise. And so we are thrilled to be collaborating on this event with the engineering school. We're really looking forward to this set of conversations about the implications of generative AI for public discourse. That term, public discourse, is likely to come up more than once today, so I want to explain briefly what we mean by it. We use the phrase public discourse as a shorthand to describe the speech that's important to democracy, not just speech about political candidates or about elections, but all of the speech that's part of the ongoing shared conversation about our collective future. Public discourse encompasses all of the speaking and listening that's part of the process of democracy and of self-government. The central question we want to ask today is how public discourse will be shaped or transformed or distorted by generative AI. But that question contains many others. What will generative AI tools mean for the integrity of speech online? How will they affect trust in institutions? And how will they affect our ability to communicate with one another, to negotiate differences, to bridge divides, to come to consensus about the future, or for that matter, about the past? And what ethical or legal frameworks could we adopt to ensure that these tools strengthen our democracies rather than compromise them? These are all difficult questions, but as Shih-Fu says, they're also urgent ones. I want to thank Eve Burton and the Helen Gurley Brown Foundation for the grant that made this event possible. The grant was made to honor Alberto Ibargüen, President Emeritus of the Knight Foundation and a founding member of the Knight Institute's board. It's an honor to have Alberto with us in the audience this morning, and I've asked him to say a few words a little bit later in the day. I also want to thank Dean Chang for his vision and his partnership. As he said, today's program is just the beginning of a collaboration between the engineering school and the Knight Institute, and over the coming months we'll be working together in a variety of ways, including by co-sponsoring research projects focused on the issues that are the subject of today's symposium. All of us at the Knight Institute are eager to build this broader partnership. We know it will be productive and generative in the best sense of the word. Thanks again to all of you for coming, and I'll turn this over now to Professor Iyengar.